Well, hello, YouTubes. How are you today? It's me, Von Naya, back with another video. Alright, so here's another video. What should we talk about? What I usually like to talk about, which is cryptos. They're down right now. Again, they keep going down. Further and further and further. Not further, really. Friday was really bad, so, last Friday. So, this isn't too bad. I think the lowest XRP went was to 228, whereas the last Friday went down to 107. So, that's pretty intense. So, these markets aren't too bad right now, but they're pretty low. They're pretty low enough for me to, yeah, I went ahead and bought some XRP. I went ahead and I bought some ZBEC, some more ZBEC. I did buy some, I bought some Ethereum. Mainly because not really to hold. And if I am going to hold, it's really mainly to hold for, I have 3 staking protocols going right now. And when it's time for me to claim them, I'm going to need ETH gas to do so. So I figure might as well buy it while it's low, right? But that's about it, just for gas fees. It's not, I'm not trying to make any money off it. Although if I do, since I bought low, even better. That means more gas to do things. I can claim my rewards and then restake them using some gas, and I'll be able to just restake it at a higher level. So I'll be claiming a bigger reward for whatever time period that staking lockup. Anyway, the point is that yeah, the markets are down. They're still trying to recover from that Friday. You know, everybody's saying, oh, you know, Trump tanked the markets, but actually that's not what happened. Trump is just being used as a fall guy. Not even as a fall guy, but definitely this was coordinated. And basically, you know, people think that there's like an insider in the Trump administration who heard some news and then decided to put in some short positions to, you know, clear out the whole field. And that's not so, because, yeah, the shorts were before the meeting, but I think the shorts were always planned to begin with, just because of where those shorts were created, which is Binance. Dude, that's easy. He's always doing controversial stuff. Binance is always in the middle of stuff like this, always. So check that out. What a view, right? Anywho, I don't know. I don't know if that was a good enough view. There you go. Anyhow, my point being is, once again, it was Binance that was behind some sort of drama that happened within the markets, as usual. And as usual, which everybody in the game, the crypto game, always warns about, which is when there's a shoot up or a shoot down and you want to buy in or you want to sell and you can't because they shut off the buttons to sell or buy. And then there comes the dreaded, oh, the network is bogged, you know, and then so just like last time, this time again, you know, Binance puts out a stupid generic statement saying, don't worry, we're having network difficulties, but your coins are safe. Oh, man. You know, the chance, you had a premonition. You're like, this is what I need to do. I need to position myself here And then on the day that this happens, I'm just going to execute. No. Not if Binance has anything to do with it. So, and it wasn't just Binance. The usual suspects, turned off the buttons. The buttons weren't working. They were grayed out. The opacity was filled in. So, it always happens like that. Always. And the last, I think I already did a video on how if you pay attention, you'll at least know. I mean, you won't be able to exactly call it. You won't be able to be like, oh, for sure up or for sure down. But you'll at least be able to be on guard for that day. Maybe even put 2 positions in, one short, one long, and set a level. Because you're not going to be able to touch buttons. You're not going to be able to press buttons. You just set your calls. You just set your orders to sell and, to buy, the triggers. So, that's actually what happened. And I think that was planned, that was rigged. And I think that the real people in charge understood how obvious and have understood how obvious and know how obvious it's going to continue to be that they are suppressing these prices on purpose. Because the institutions and the banks got in late. They're getting in late. So they're just like, we need a discount, boys. What the, you didn't let us buy it. Now all these retailers bought it before us and this price is all high now. We need a break. Bring in Trump. We need him to, we're gonna do some things with the markets, okay? We're gonna bring this price down for our guys, our companies, our banks. And then, so nobody catches on, we're just going to throw Trump out there. And hopefully, everybody will just blame him, It's his fault. It's Trumpy's fault. Trumpy, put Trumpy out there. So, I believe that's what's going on. And it's brilliant. It's a good plan. It's working. Everybody's just like, oh, he opened his mouth again. No, it's more than that. But when you start playing in these markets, not even with your money, just even paper trading, or not even paper trading, just paying attention to the ups and downs, what's going on, the prices and the global events, you start to see a certain pattern, and you can not only make money, but see where the environment, even call out maybe the future. There's been times where I've been able to call out the future just based upon things that I was noticing in the markets. And I think that for me, it just becomes even more apparent that a lot of the things that we pay attention to is designed so that markets to us are boring. And stupid things are entertaining. Sucks. But it is what it is, And I'm hoping that people, not just anybody, people who are like searching for a better way to live, to get out of the 9-to-5, and to at least, I guess, attempt to try to start to make money a different way other than work. I'm not saying quit your job, but I'm just saying, you never know. If you invest in something that just, you invested right at the cusp. I believe anyone investing right now in crypto is investing right at the cusp. There's a reason why legislation has been going full steam ahead on rules and regulations with the Clarity Act and the Genius Act. it's like almost on a daily basis we get new information. Whew. New information on, yeah, it's real moldy. The rain came and they didn't finish the roof. They didn't finish waterproofing the roof and the sides of the roofs of the building. And a lot of the water trickled down into the walls that had drywall and insulation on it. So inspector saw that. Wasn't even there to inspect that. But it's like, you got to deal with that. I'll be back. Bye. Call me when you're done with that. And so now they had to rip all the, not all of it, but where there was puddles, they had to rip out the drywall, and insulation's got to be aired out and redone. So it does smell a little musty, little moldy. So it's good that they did those things, that they follow the regulations. And we've also got some floor fans going high speed at the really damp areas. But anywho, my point is that the markets right now do seem scary as far as cryptos because of the manipulation. But understand that all the markets are manipulated, especially the market that, sets how much your dollar is worth. So, in order to combat that, because it's going to continue to happen, it's going to get worse, and yeah, possibly it is being done on purpose. You have a lot of things, though, culminating at the same time. Coincidence? I think not. You're trying to move on to a new system, and you have a lot of dead weight. It just seems, it seems like a good idea to get rid of a lot of that dead weight before you enter a new system or try to upgrade a new system. So definitely interesting times to be in and to be an investor. Oh, my alarm's gone. Yeah. I set up alarms to help, and they get taken down. What are you going to do? What can you do? I'll try. And that's all I can do. Anyway, it is all being orchestrated together. This government shutdown, Europe finally saying this is what we're going to do with CBDCs and cryptos, India, Russia, and China all making deals with oil not being paid in petrodollar. So it's all coming ahead. And yes, it all seems like a bunch of chaos, but I guarantee you it's not all chaos. I guarantee you this is all this is a well orchestrated show for you not to suspect that the dollar is going down because of the shenanigans they've been playing around with this whole time. If all this chaos ensues, what actually happens is that you see the chaos, and then you're like, oh, no wonder the dollar is there. No wonder this is happening. Like, that's what they want. They want you to make that correlation. So they make it happen, and they move this here so it all looks like this. And regardless, who cares? There's nothing you or I can do about any of that. What you can do is pay attention and put yourself in the right position to weather whatever's going to happen and to hopefully even get ahead. So basically, I just wanted to give you some insight as to why the markets went down. Be careful of what people say or blame things on, because sometimes it could just be a way to point you in the direction they want you to look, and sometimes it's just that whole tactic is just a distraction, and a ruse, a carefully orchestrated ruse, a clever act to undermine our view on the matter. Propaganda. Just kidding. I don't know. Either way, the point is we're getting close. You just need to see these moments when the crypto prices are down as opportunities. We're at the beginning of this market, and we're at a phase where it's time for it to go the next level. Not just because of the technology and where it's at, but because of where all the countries financially are. So it's time, and whether it's ready or not, I think it feels like it's getting to the point where they're just like, we just need to do something with it so we can at least test it out. This isn't really a test. These retail people, we need to really test it out worldwide. And, and I think, to be honest with you, I think that's what this dip in the market was. Because if you really looked at the analytics of everything, like, even Solana went down, but everything went right back up. Yeah, it went right back up, and then it slowly came back down. But how healthy is that? How healthy is that? Of this market is 24 hours. See, all the other markets, when there's a dip, there's at least, okay, market's closed, it's over, reset for tomorrow type deal, That's not the case in crypto. This is 24/7. It doesn't stop. It's going down, 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 and there's no end in sight. There's no, the bell's there's nothing. And yet, it managed to correct. It didn't just tank because of Trump. It tanked because of the shorts, all the leverages. And I mean, it is what it is on the leverage, but the fact that was so bad and dangerous, and we still came back up. And it had nothing to do with the tariffs. Mango bits. It had nothing to do with the tariffs. It had nothing to do with rare earths or anything like that. They just wanted us to think that. But I really believe that they finally understand when they release this product, and a lot of the people do get it, and they understand that they can make money just sitting at home. These tokens. I think they understand that, yeah, you are going to have some irresponsible people that are going to... These leverages were 10x, 100x, 1,000x. What? You have no business doing 1,000x. You don't even have any business doing 100x. And here you are, 1,000x? Like, I should slap you for the 10x you went in. Like, no. So, it was a healthy correction. A healthy, timely pushed correction. And it tested the right networks. And the leverage positions it had, and whether they would be able to weather that kind of a short squeeze happening. And it did. It did. I guess you can say they're checking to see if these networks are ready for the huge amount of assholes that are about to join the network, and 100 million, 1,000 trillion times leverage some of their Dogecoin positions. They're Shibas. So, point being is, this is good. This is really good because you can trust that you can buy right now, and that this crypto, once Clarity and Genius Act are all said and done, next year it's going to be all in. And I believe that there's just been so much FUD and scams and misinformation to where the people that be, the powers that be, understand that the consumer, the retailer, is way too terrified and scared to go in, and that they're really going to have to incentivize this stuff. And to be honest with you, I really believe it's going to be a really, 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 really low gains tax. So, crypto gains tax. So, I think you see the amount that you could be taxed in cash. I think it's going to push people to go into holding their money in stable coins, and then once and we'll see who's going to be able to provide this product faster: the banks, the institutions, entrepreneurs, because it's kind of the idea that I have. But basically, let's see who can get the consumer. Is the consumer going to learn on their own, or is the bank going to be able to come up with these products fast enough for the consumer to be like, okay, yeah, I'll buy it from you, Bank of America, and hold it in your Bank of America crypto wallet? Because once that happens, you're not going to be making any money off your crypto. Unless the banks, come to their senses and understand that this is just a product, and it's good to have your customers keeping their crypto in their wallet and it staking and them having a possibility of making free money. But I don't know. I just feel like if you know the banks and how they are, they're going to want you to custody your crypto on their platforms, and they're going to be making the good money off your crypto, not you. They're going to be staking it, not you. So, I could be wrong. But, nothing is ever for free. Even staking it, you got to pay little fees. I mean, yeah, they're little. When you stake something, it's usually like a $7, $6 fee. It's never, when you're transferring things to bank or wallet to wallet, it's usually like a, how do you say, sometimes like a 17-20 cent, sometimes a 3 cent fee. So it just varies on what you want to do. Anyway, pay attention to the markets. It's low. This is a perfect time to get in. All right, talk to you later. Bye.